Hey guys, the biggest favor that you can do for women is not to give an F about them.
Money, power, women. Money, power, women.
This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Money, power, women.
Welcome to the Money, Power, Women podcast. I am your host as always, Kino Suave. We talk about money, entrepreneurship. We talk about power. We're talking about self-improvement. We're talking about women. We're talking about improving your game and understanding of women. So some of you are probably thinking this is some misogynistic BS. And actually that cannot be further from the truth. Okay? What I'm telling you is that you should not give an F about women until she becomes your woman. All right. At the very minimum, until she shows interest that you should be concerned about. All right. Because let's face it, a lot of you guys are weird and you're doing weird things and you're making women uncomfortable for no reason. I'm gonna talk about some of these things because, again, on social media, I see a lot of women commenting on this, and a lot of women will mention this. So I give an example. There's this thing where guys will walk up to a woman and say, "You'd be prettier if you're smiling." Guess what, dude? If you were talking to a guy, would you ever say that to a dude? No, you're like, I don't mean anything by that. I just mean it as a compliment. Would you ever say that to a guy? Hey, man, you look better right now if you're smiling. You would never say that, right? It's because really what you're doing is you're expressing some sort of odd sexual flirting interest, and it's weird, and it makes them uncomfortable, and women hate that. You know, another thing that I hear a lot of is when men try to push drinks on women, you know, because you're trying to express that you like her, like, hey, you know, take a drink, and she's like, no, I'm good, and you're like, hey, come on, let me buy you a drink. Women legitimately have to be worried about weirdos. Okay, men that are trying to spike their drinks or drug them. We all know somebody who has been roofied at some point in time. I'm pretty sure everybody out there knows somebody that's happened to. Okay, guys, leave them the hell alone. All right, if you walked up to her and you offered her a drink and she likes you or she's interested, she will accept that drink. No, if she says no, guess what? That's probably an indicator that she's not feeling you, and you have to be okay with that. I got into an argument one time with a guy, and he kept saying, this woman was online complaining about how dudes treat her like crap, right? And so this guy comes back, and he's trying to freaking be Prince Charming. And he goes, well, if you would go out with me, you know, I would treat you right. You know, you've told me no like 3 times. And I'm like, bro, she told you no 3 times because she don't like you. Stop making it awkward. She's just politely rejecting you. You're making it weird for her. So she comes like, no, it's not that. I'm like, you a damn lie. If you like this dude, he would not have to ask you out no 3 times. I've just been busy. That's a lie. You just don't like him. Just tell him. Let him get on with his life. Anyway, he was arguing me like a dumbass. So leave them alone. Let them have what they want to have. You know, you're online liking all this chick's photos, you know, and she's laughing at you, calling you thirsty because you're like, hey, beautiful, you're so amazing. I would love to go with a girl like you. Dude, it's fucking pathetic. It's sad. Stop it. Have some respect about yourself, okay? Cut it out. Don't be internet weirdo or creeper. Don't give a damn. Seriously, okay? And let me qualify. There's a point at which you do give a damn, all right? The point at which you give a damn is where she shows interest. If you offer her a drink and she says, yeah, I would love to have a drink with you, okay? If you ask her out and she says, yeah, I would love to go out with you, then you can understand that maybe she likes something about you and wants to spend time with you, and then you give an interest, okay? Because then the interest is mutual, and it's not you just being a creepy, one-sided, you know, weird thing. So I used to have this girl I knew, and to put a point on this, right? So I used to have this girl I knew, very attractive. She was in her 20s, and she had went out, and this guy who owned a couple of bars and a restaurant hit on her. Okay, and I think he might have been like 15 years older. I think she was 15 years older than her. And she told me, she goes, you know, I think he's just too old for me. And so again, this guy had bars that I had heard of, owned restaurants that I heard of. And I said, yeah, okay, that's cool. And she goes, hey, he wouldn't really take the hint. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then she starts dating this guy who is a waiter, and no offense to waiters, but this guy lived in a single wide trailer. Okay, now, if I'm a woman, this is not the decision that I would make personally, but it was what she wanted. And it's her right to make the choice to date the guy that lives in the single wide trailer, or to date the guy that owns 2 bars and a well-known restaurant. Okay, it's her choice. All right, so that guy who owns that bar, many women are going to want that. They are going to prefer the lifestyle and the amenities and things that come with that. That's freaking awesome. Okay, she didn't want that. I can tell you a personal story. I dated a woman who was really incredibly attractive. She was hit on by musicians. She was hit on by NFL players. And I moved away, and we were no longer dating. And I met this gorgeous little Mexican girl. And so we're having a conversation. She goes, I really like you, but don't you think you're too old for me? And so I laughed and I said, hey, listen, I said, my last girlfriend was younger than you. I said, but really it's not what I think, it's what you think. If that makes you uncomfortable, then, this won't happen. And I think she was a little taken aback by my, candor. But here's the thing, guys, the woman I dated before her was absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing. And she was okay with it. And we didn't really hang out much after that. I ended up dating the next girl I dated was actually younger than her. Okay. Let them be. All right. Don't try to impose your will and your desires on some woman. Leave her the hell alone. And if you don't have the skill set to tell that when a woman is genuinely interested in you, or she's just conversating with you, or she's, being nice to you because she kind of likes you, but she don't want to hurt your feelings. If you don't have that skill set, you need to get that skill set. Anyway, so this is really not about the women, guys. It's about you not trying to impose your weird, creepy neediness on them, okay? Leave them the hell alone. That is the best thing that you can do for them. Hey, thanks. It's Kino. I'll see you in the next video.